Hey everybody, welcome back to another Kevin's Kreations here on Geektopia Island. I'm Kevin, and we're here to showcase the second deck of the brand new set of the Underworld of Secrets. It is with our girl, Kahlua. It is my favorite ruler of the set, and she's super fun. I'm probably going to play this deck for a good while. And it's called Danger Danger Dinos, just like the Hungry Hungry Hippos. So we're playing Dinosaur Girl and all of her dinosaur friends, and it's going to be interesting. So, first up, Kahlua. For those that don't know what she does, partner 2 Moon Child. As the game starts, put 4 ice counters on this card. Whenever an ice counter is removed, draw a card. Super simple, super easy. And then you contract, which turns her into Predator. So the contract is one of the most important cards in this deck. It is insanely good. So red and green contract, Divine Lightning, quick cast. Target J Resonator loses all abilities until the turn. This card deals 800 damage to it, so it's a Gradius. Target ruler loses all abilities. It cannot be contracted until the end of turn. That part's nuts, because you literally get to tell the other new contract rulers no. Like, you don't get to do anything. And then if there are no ice counters on a ruler named Kahlua, you can contract this card with Kahlua. And then Mastery tap Kahlua to play this card. So I get a free contract. That's what Kahlua says, is you get free contract to make them not play theirs. So, you know the rule of Force Will right now where you don't want to tap out? Kahlua actually can tap out and you still don't lose because you get the ability to do something against their stuff. It's kind of wild in that regard. However, you lose to a Green Moon Child if they counter your stuff. Know that. Predator is the backside. It's 1,000 Swiftness Pierce. Enter, you put a Dinosaur Resonator from your graveyard into the field. It gains at the next end of turn. Its controller banishes it. So you don't get to keep it, but the turn you get it, most likely they're going to die because most of the time all the dinosaurs have Swiftness. And you just get to be like, hey, cool, die. That is what she can do. The 2 Moon Children I have is the new green one, green-red. God's Art of Pay 0, recover target J Resonator. And then the blue one of old, which is Water Moon Child, blue-white, or God's Art, Protection of the Water Moon. Return a non-Magic Stone, non-J-Roll entity you control to its owner's hand. That is really, really strong in this deck because it allows you to replay dudes and swing again because most of your dudes have Swiftness. Like this boy. Best new dinosaur I've seen. Rushing Dinosaur is a 1-drop 4/4 Swiftness. This card cannot be attacked or blocked by Resonators with total cost 1 or less. Whenever this card attacks, it deals 200 damage to your opponent and each J Resonator they control. Card's nuts. So I'm going to deal 2 to you and 2 to your board. So essentially you're hitting for 6 on turn 1. And with the Blue Moon Child, you get to bounce it and play it again and swing again. And then after you swing again, you untap it with the Green Moon Child. So you get to deal 6 damage to your opponent. And it's kind of ridiculous. Next dinosaur is the Icemelter Dinosaur. He has a 7/7 for 2. This card gains Swiftness as long as there are no ice counters on your ruler. Enter, you may remove an ice counter from J-Roll you control. If you do, put this card deals 700 damage to target player or J Resonator. So you literally get to be like, hey cool, take 7. And that dude allows you to hit to the face. So it's really nice. Just be like, you take your 7 to the face, so I don't have to attack to kill you. Permafrost Monster is a 12/4 for 4. Swiftness, Pierce, Precision. You pay 3 red less to play this if 1 or more ice counters were removed from a J-Roll you control. Discard this card, put an ice counter on a J-Roll you control. Multiple uses for this dude. You can either put counters on there, which you will need to do because you need to have more value out of doing removal of ice counters. Or you can just be like, take 12 for 1 mana. And if you have 3 of these in hand, it gets kind of nuts because you're just like, cool, take 12, take 12, take 12. And it's kind of gross. Our new big boy, Grandleon, the strongest ancient. He is 4 red and a green for 15/15 Swiftness, Pierce, Precision. Whenever an opponent plays a spell with total cost 1 or less, this card deals 1,000 to your opponent. Pay a red, discard this, remove an ice counter, deal 6 to target player or J-Res. Or pay a green, remove an ice counter, destroy target flying dude. Super good for what you're doing because this helps set itself up for Predator's enter trigger of Return to Dinosaur. So you're like, hey cool, you take 6 and then I get to play it from Predator. And it just, if it's in play, it's going to make them not want to play 1-drops or under. You're going to play a little dude, you're going to take damage for it. Next is No Bite, No Fight is one of the chants. 1 red chant, quick cast. Remove an ice counter from J-Roll you control. If you do, draw a card. Or you may produce 3 wheels of any attribute of red or green. Choose this option only if you have no ice counters. So, this card's kind of like a... I'm not sure where it fits exactly. I only really want 2 of them in this deck because it's not like super good, but it gives you free mana. or it draws you 2 cards for the removal of 1 ice counter, because she still triggers on that removal, so you get another card for free. One of my old school cards that I enjoyed, because, you know, dinosaurs, is Dinosaur Surfacing. It is 1 blue, Awakening of a blue and 3. Put the dinosaur into the field instead, which is search your deck for a dinosaur resonator, reveal it, put it in your hand. So it puts it in the field instead. So you're like, hey, cool. We're going to pay the same 5 mana, go get a Grandleon from the deck and put it into play. So it just is another way to give you a new Grandleon, or you can play Mosasaurus, because, you know, Mosasaurus is the best dinosaur. Terror in the Ice is one of my new favorite cards in this deck. Red and a green, quick cast. You may remove 2 ice counters, up to 2 ice counters from your J roll you control. Reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal a dinosaur resonator, total cost X, where X is the number of ice counters removed this way. Put it into the field and then shuffle the rest into your deck. This card is make it or break it, because if you have ice counters, this card is insanely good. If you do not, this card does absolutely nothing. It's a dead card in your hand. So it is kind of a catch-22 to play, but it's super fun. And the way I built this deck is the Icemelter Dinosaur is literally the only 2-drop dinosaur in the deck, so you're guaranteed when you play this to get a Icemelter Dinosaur to remove the 3rd counter. So the way this reads in my deck is pay 2, draw 3 cards, shoot your opponent for 7, and get a 7/7 body. And if that's the last counter you remove off the Icemelter, then the boy gets swiftness and gets to swing. Gets kind of nutty with Terror in the Ice. And then we have Megiddo, the Artificial Sun. It is a green and a red cocoon. Quick cast. J Resonators dealt damage by this card cannot attack or block until the end of turn. And then enter. This deals 800 damage to each J Resonator your opponent controls. Tap, remove an ice counter from a J roll you control. This card deals 800 damage to target J Resonator. So it is a constant that J Resonators dealt damage by this card cannot attack or block. So if you keep removing counters from things, you can be like, hey, cool. Take your damage, don't attack me or block me if you're big. But also I like to use this card when I'm like, hey cool, take 8 to the board and you're 16 dude, it can take another 8 on that same turn that you play this. So it's really, really nice to just be able to kill the board like that. And it gives her enough survivability of what you just need to be able to kill. The other resonators of the deck we have is Geryon, because it's kill spell or counter spell. Laurite, it's Laurite. Mosasaurus, because it's my favorite dinosaur. It's just my pick. Pricia, Secret of Fins, and Pricia's Big Show. You get to dig a lot and then go get a dinosaur you want and put it into play. And then Sealed One-Eyed Dragon, which is literally more ways to kill without attacking / draw cards. And you don't really care so much about your life because you're going to get there quicker than they're going to be able to survive. And then we have Disrupting Shout, which is also like a counter spell or return a little dude for your hand. And it needs an ice counter to counter a thing, but otherwise it's just to bounce a little dude. And then Gas. For each counter you removed for each counter removed, you get to add pluses to your dudes. That's really all it says, essentially. So the way I found out this deck plays is it plays very similar to Lycion. So if you played Lycion, you're going to like this deck because you're going to play things on your untap step, not like right before you untap. Because that way, all your things that need 1 or more ice counters to trigger in a turn, like gas, get to be insanely good. But otherwise, you're just playing before you untap and do things, and then you go. The stones we have is Attoractia's Memoria, because you're playing 3 different colors. Darkness Moon Fragment, which is the green-black one, that's 4 Cs. And the Secret Stone of the Chaos Moon, which is the red-green 4C stone. So you're just scrying a lot, and then getting what you need. This deck is super fun. Divine Lightning is one of the strongest contracts I've seen printed so far, and I can't wait to play this deck some more and just see what all it can do. But the deck list will be down below, guys. Let us know what you think about it, and we will see y'all again next time. Goodbye! Make sure you subscribe to our channel, guys, and hit that like, and then also click that bell so you get all the updates and notifications on our channel. And then send us any comments down below so we make sure we get them.
And just to remind you that we are actually streaming on Twitch now, where we do all our deck brawls and also video game content. And also remind you that we do have a Patreon, and we like to go ahead and thank the Mythic and Above Patreons. So thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
We love you.
Boom.